Hey everyone! This is a trailer of the presentation of the work Can Users Predict Relative Query Effectiveness? By myself, Melika Ibrahim, Shane Culpepper, Alistair Moffat and Folk Scholler. I'd like to start with an illustration, a mini experiment if you'd like. Let's say we have the following scenario. A tooth at the back of your jaw is giving you a lot of pain. You think it might be an abscess. What treatments are available for it? Now please think, what query would you use to search for such information? This is one of the backstories used to collect query variants in the UQV100 collection. So by now I'm sure you have some good query in mind, or you can pause the video and think about one. But next, I'd like to ask you a different question. Given the previous backstory, would you be able to predict the usefulness of those given queries for search? That is, which of these queries are likely to generate useful results in a search engine? So again, please take a moment and pause the video and order these queries from the best query to worst. Would others rank them the same as you did? And this leads us to our main research question in this study. First of all, we wanted to see, will users agree? Do they have a common sense what would be a good query and what would be a bad one? Then, if the answer is positive, we would also like to check how aligned their opinions with a retrieval system's result. So we selected 12 topics from the UQV100 collection, and for each topic we randomly selected 5 queries and added one quality control query. We applied 2 separate interfaces. In one, users were expected to rank the queries, to put them in order, and in another to rate them. We used Amazon Mechanical Turk to collect the data, and this was the general structure of each hit. And next I'll share some specific examples. For each topic, the worker would first see the backstory of the information need, then 3 statements with Likert scale of agreement, and a box to type a query. By asking them to type a query, we wanted them to engage with the topic. Later, we also found out that it's also the best way to filter out the poor responses. Then what followed was a screen with the main task. In the ranking category, users were asked to order the queries. By dragging them into a box first, then they could reorder them inside the box. That way, we ensured that every query was ranked explicitly. And for quality control, we also added an attention query that is obviously wrong but also superficially similar, to test the worker's attention. Similarly, in the rating category, the workers got a screen with the same queries, only here they needed to rate them. They could type the rating in the box or click on the number of stars. In this interface, 2 or more queries could get the same rating, while the attention query should have gotten the lowest rating. So 100 workers completed each hit. Each worker did only one type of interface, ranking or rating, not both. We approved almost 94% of the hits for payment, and after applying additional post-filtering, which was based on the quality control queries, we were left with 86% of the initial responses. In total, 267 unique workers participated in the study. We converted the rankings to the same scale as the ratings, and here we use Bootstrap to estimate the means and calculate 95% confidence intervals for each query. We can see that some query pairs are statistically significantly different based on workers' opinions. And while the absolute values of the means differ between the ranking and the rating interfaces, for this topic, the conclusions about relative query effectiveness within the topic would be the same. In both interfaces, there are 2 good queries, 2 medium, and 1 bad query. Next, we wanted to see how users' opinions correlate with an actual system. So we used the Terrier framework to run retrieval on all the queries and measure the correlations between the mean of users' opinions to the NDCG at 10 scores. Reporting the Pearson correlations, we found that all the correlations were significant and quite high. We can also see that the correlation between ranking and rating is 0.9, which tells us that the results between the 2 interfaces are highly correlated. And here's the scatter plot of NDCG at 10 scores on the vertical axis against the crowd workers' opinion on the horizontal axis. We can see that users can predict relative query effectiveness, at least to some extent. And moreover, we can see in those plots that especially in rating, users tend to overestimate queries. That is, it is more common for a query to be seen as useful by the users yet fail in the retrieval than the other way around. So to sum up our findings, users are reasonably consistent in their evaluation of query quality. Both ranking and rating yielded consistent outcomes. and users' predictions of the queries correlated with actual systems effectiveness measured with NDCG at 10. Of course, you can find the details in the paper, and we will be at a poster session during the conference. So come and have a chat to one of us to hear more details and future directions, or just to let us know what you think about it. And thanks for watching to the end.